Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here, and today we are going to be continuing our series on Seneca and Seneca's letters to Lucilius. You can check out the playlist here if you haven't already. We are in letter 17, or is it? Yeah, 17 today, actually, out of, I think there's going to be like 100 and something. I forget how many there are. I am going through the letter, I'm reading it, and I am giving you sort of my commentary, sort of my breakdown on this. So if you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button and click the bell so you don't miss any of the videos that are going to come out on this channel, especially the letters to Lucilius from Seneca here. So we're going to start off here, get started. This is letter 17. It's called On Philosophy and Riches. And it starts off verse 1, cast away everything of that sort if you are wise. Nay, rather that you may be wise, strive toward a sound mind at top speed and with your whole strength. If any bond holds you back, untie it or sever it. But, you say, my estate delays me. I wish to make such disposition of it that it may suffice me when I have nothing to do, lest either poverty be a burden to me or I myself a burden to others. So, he's saying here, basically that you need to be going headstrong into philosophy, into wisdom, into perfecting the things that are wrong with you. All of these other things that are holding you back or tying you down, you need to let go, you need to cut them, because they're going to always be there. There's always going to be something that's going to stop you from developing your character. We see this all the time, and we go through this all the time when we say, okay, you want to do something big in life. You want to aspire to do something big. And what you say is, well, I can't right now because it's like there's too much chaos going on. I need to get this done first. Right now I'm having some problem. I'm having to work some extra hours at my job. My relationships aren't right now. I'm tired right now. Right, I'm not motivated right now, so I can't start the diet. I can't get in shape yet. I'm not going to start the program yet. I'm not going to go down this road until all of my affairs are in order. But your affairs are never in order. Number 2. You do not seem, when you say this, to know the strength and power of that good which you are considering. You do indeed grasp all the important thing, the great benefit which philosophy confers, but you do not yet discern accurately its various functions, nor do you yet know how great is the help we receive from philosophy in everything, everywhere. How, to use Cicero's language, it not only succours us in the greatest matters, but it also descends to the smallest. Take my advice, call wisdom into consultation. She will advise you not to sit forever at your leisure. So many people are, what a lot of us are doing, right? And I've been there from time to time, is you're trying to dig this hole and you're using your hand, your claws, to dig this hole in this hard dirt, right? And you're like, and someone's telling you, okay, you need to go get a shovel. You need to go to the store and get a shovel. It's going to help you dig. And you're like, no, I don't have time because I need to dig this hole. I can't stop digging the hole in order to get the shovel, right? And it's because you don't realize how much more dirt you're going to move with the shovel. And what he's saying here is that philosophy is the shovel, okay? Philosophy is the shovel for life, right? Yeah, you're working hard. Yeah, you're busting ass. Yeah, you're doing all these things. That's great. But do you want to have the exceptional life? Do you want to have the value that, do you want to multiply your effectiveness of what you're doing? Then get the fucking shovel, get philosophy, get wisdom. Right? And anytime that we talk about philosophy here, what we're talking about is wisdom. We're talking about building character, common sense, right? All of those things that as you're developing yourself, developing your mind, right? And enhancing yourself, you're becoming the better version of yourself, the best version of yourself. Number 3, doubtless your object which you attain by such postponement of your studies is that poverty may not have to be feared by you. So let's break this down. Doubtless your object, what you wish to attain by such postponement of your studies, is that poverty may not have to be feared by you. Okay, so he's saying that basically the reason why you're not studying, instead you are focusing on your estate and your riches, your career, whatever it is so that you won't be visited by poverty. That's the primary reason why you're doing all this shit, right? And I look at people, I coach a lot of guys, and you're doing the same thing. You're like, I can't do the important things in life because I'm so afraid of being poor, so I need to bust my ass and do this. But even though I could be doing something better or leveraging my life better, I can't right now because I need to make sure that poverty, I don't become poor. So he says here, but what if it is something to be desired, Riches have shut off many a man from the attainment of wisdom. Poverty is unburdened and free from care. When the trumpet sounds, the poor man knows that he is not being attacked. When there is a cry of fire, he only seeks a way of escape and does not ask what he can save. If the poor man must go to sea, the harbor does not resound, nor do the wharves bustle with the retinue of one individual. No throng of slaves surrounds the poor man, slaves for whose mouth the master must covet the fertile crops of regions beyond the sea. Maybe it's better to be poor. Maybe poverty is better because you don't have all these responsibilities. You don't have these fears. You don't have this fear of loss, right? You have less care, right? When the trumpet sounds, you know people aren't coming to attack you because you ain't got shit. Now, he's not saying not to attain riches. Don't get this wrong. He's just saying that when you're fearing poverty, you're fearing a state that's actually, it's not that bad. To some degree, yes. I mean, it's great to have wealth. Ultimately, I think what Seneca would say here is that what you want to do is you want to be the wealthy man that acts like the man who's poor. I had a lot more hunger when I was poor, when I didn't have a lot of money. Now that I'm, quote, retired and I don't have to work, it's kind of hard sometimes to get motivated. It's kind of hard. In fact, a lot of it's very easy to get sucked into the whole thing of worrying about losing shit. Whereas when you're busy, when you got to make it, when you need some money, you're worrying about making the next step, getting there. Whereas now it's like, man, shit, how do I hold on to this shit? It is easy to fill a few stomachs when they are well trained and crave nothing else but to be filled. Hunger costs but little. Squeamishness costs much. Poverty is contented with fulfilling pressing needs. So he's saying this, okay? Basically, if you're poverty just is concerned with filling your stomach. It's like when you're at that point, it's just basic needs. It's not all of this other extravagance, right? So to fulfill hunger, for instance, it doesn't cost much. It's pretty easy to do to get food to eat, right? It's beyond that where you start to get the burden, right? Why then should you reject philosophy as a comrade? 5. Even the rich man copies her ways when he is in his senses. If you wish to have leisure for your mind, either be a poor man or resemble a poor man. This is what we were talking about before. Study cannot be helpful unless you take pains to live simply, and living simply is voluntary poverty. Away then with all excuses like, quote, I have not yet enough. When I have gained the desired amount, then I shall devote myself wholly to philosophy. And yet this ideal, which you're putting off and placing second to other interests, should be secured first of all. You should begin with it. You retort, I wish to acquire something to live on. Yes, but learn while you're acquiring it. For if anything forbids you to live nobly, nothing forbids you to die nobly. Once I get enough money, once I get retired or whatever it is, then I'll study philosophy. Then I'll devote my life to it. But I need some shit to live on. I need some money. I need some dough. And he's saying, look, no. First of all, it's not going to value much, right? We've already talked about this. But the thing is, like, you should be acting as if, if you want to have leisure of the mind, okay, which is really what you want. Just having leisure, that's not enough, okay? I mean, I can do whatever the fuck I want any day that I want. I don't have to do shit, right? I can do whatever the fuck I want. Do you think that's burdensome or not? It's burdensome. I'll tell you why. Because it's not leisure of the mind, right? My mind is concerned with all the shit. I should be doing this. I shouldn't be doing this. I got to protect this. I got to make sure that I get more of this, right? There's all of these thoughts that are going through my head now where I don't have that. I don't have the freedom of the mind. Number 6, there is no reason why poverty should call us away from philosophy. No, nor even actual want. For when hastening after wisdom, we must endure even hunger. Men have endured hunger when their towns were besieged, and what other reward for their endurance did they obtain than that they did not fall under the conqueror's power? How much greater is the promise of the prize everlasting liberty and the assurance that we need fear neither God nor man. Even though we starve, we must reach that goal. So he's saying this, look. Okay, people have gone hungry just to live, just to not be conquered, right? They've had their towns siege. That's where they cut off all the supplies, right? And basically try to starve you out. And they've starved, and they've had to endure hunger for no gain, not a gain, just to prevent a loss. So why can't you endure hunger? Why can't you be poor for a little bit and have some poverty in order to gain this huge prize, this better prize, to have everlasting liberty, to be free, to have this assurance that neither you need to fear God nor man. Now, what does he mean by not fearing God nor man? He's saying that, look, if you become a true Stoic, if you truly embrace and understand and learn philosophy and develop your character to such a degree that fucking fate doesn't matter and it doesn't matter what life throws at you, you're content within yourself. You have that ability to regulate your own emotions, to regulate your own self, to be content within yourself. Like I said, to have all that you need within you, then it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what God does. It doesn't matter what, and he's saying that in kind of a facetious way, but it doesn't matter, like man or God. In this case, God, you could substitute for fate, but it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what people do to you. It doesn't matter what stray bullet hits you. You're fine. You're good. Number 7. Armies have endured all manner of want, have lived on roots, and have resisted hunger by means of food too revolting to mention. All this they have suffered to gain a kingdom, and what is more marvelous, to gain a kingdom that will be another's. Will any man hesitate to endure poverty in order that he may free his mind from madness? Therefore one should seek to lay up riches first. Therefore one should not seek to lay up riches first. One may attain philosophy, however, even without money for the journey. Wouldn't you be willing to endure a little bit of poverty so that you can free your mind from madness, right? Because we're all living in a state of madness. Our minds are fucking mad. Like, we need to learn the proper way to live. We need to learn our own psychology, and we all have all these aberrant ways of thinking. We all have all these deficiencies, and we need to root those out. What if, you could be free? Right? So there's two paths you can take in life, right? When I coach a lot of like younger guys, 18, 19 years old on their path in life. This is what I tell them. It's like, yeah, you can go to college and you can go get a career and you can go get a job and, maybe you'll be successful, go to Wall Street, whatever, you make a lot of money. Fine. There's a lot of paths to make a decent amount of money and to live a good life, maybe be in the upper class, maybe even become a millionaire, do some investment, fine, that's great. But you're going to be working for someone else. You're not going to be owning your life, right? You're going to be basically investing your hours and time. What about the other path, which is to voluntarily go down the path of poverty, to build your own business, to say, fuck this, I'm not working for someone else. I'm not giving my time, I'm not selling my life in order to have a nice car or a nice house, at least not right now. Instead, if I have to be poor for the next 5 or 10 years, right? If I'm 20 and I have to be poor till I'm 30, but during that 10 years, I'm fucking learning. I'm building myself, I'm building my business, I'm building my character, I'm gaining wisdom, I'm studying philosophy, right? As I'm building my own shit. Wouldn't that be worth it? And that's the question I would ask you, right? And this is something to think about. It is indeed so. After you have come to possess all other things, shall you then wish to possess wisdom also? Is philosophy to be the last requisite in life, a sort of supplement? Nay, your plan should be this: be a philosopher now, whether you have anything or not. For if you have anything, how do you know that you have not too much already? But if you have nothing, seek understanding first before anything else. But you say, I shall lack the necessities of life. In the first place, you cannot lack them because nature demands but little, and the wise man suits his needs to nature. But if the utmost pinch of need arrives, he will quickly take leave of life and cease being a trouble to himself. If, however, his means of existence are meager and scanty, he will make the best of them without being anxious or worried about anything more than the bare necessities. He will do justice to his belly and his shoulders. With free and happy spirit, he will laugh at the bustling of rich men and the flurried ways of those who are hastening after wealth. So he's saying this, look, you say you're gonna lack the necessities of life, but living according to nature, the necessities of life are not very much, right? Feeding your hunger, pretty damn easy. Having a place to sleep, pretty fucking easy, right? Like, you really don't need much, right? And so you're not going to lack that, right? But what you're going to get in benefit is you're not going to have the troubles of life. You're going to see all these anxious people searching after wealth and trying to become rich, and all the trouble and stress that they have, and you're going to laugh because you're free. Why of your own accord postpone your real life to the distant future? Shall you wait for some interest to fall due, or for some income on your merchandise, or for a place in the will of some wealthy old man, when you can be rich here and now? Wisdom offers wealth in ready money and pays it over to those in whose eyes she has made wealth superfluous. These remarks refer to other men. You are nearer the rich class. Change the age in which you live and you have too much. But in every age, what is enough remains the same. So some very, very important points here. Are you waiting to live your life? Are you waiting to get rich? Are you waiting like for someone to die and give you money? Or for the payment to come in, your ships to come in, right? It's so stupid, right? You're wasting your life waiting to become rich when you can become rich here and now instantly by gaining wisdom, because by gaining wisdom, you'll have true wealth. You'll have true riches. Number 11. I might close my letter at this point if I had not got you into bad habits. One cannot greet Parthian royalty without bringing a gift, and in your case, I cannot say farewell without paying a price. But what of it? I shall borrow from Epicurus. Quote, the acquisition of riches has been for many men not an end, but a change of troubles. That's a really good quote. The acquisition of riches has been for many men not an end, but a change of troubles. So here's the thing. If you think, a lot of you are, you're in this point where you're like, man, if I could just make some money, if I could just be rich, if I could just be retired. I was there once, right? If I could just have passive income, I'd be happy. All my troubles would go away. Bull fucking shit. You get a whole, here's the thing I'll tell you, right? Just from my own personal perspective. If your trouble is that you can't pay the bills or you need more money, right? There's solutions for that. Okay? They're easy. I mean, you can strive towards them. But if your problem is, I don't know what to fucking do with my life anymore. I'm afraid of losing shit. It's harder. Because there's not as many solutions to that, right? You got to figure some real shit out. You got to go dig deep and answer some really tough questions in life, okay? So what he's saying here is that, if your troubles will change, okay? And I'll tell you this, I can guarantee you that wherever you're at, you've got to solve the shit internally here. You got to figure this shit out, because it'll just go from not being able to pay the cell phone bill to a whole different set of troubles of worrying about how am I going to keep this? How am I going to pay the tax? All these dates I have to do for the taxes so I don't lose my shit. All these people trying to sue me, or all kinds of other kind of trouble that you're going to have. Making money doesn't solve the trouble. If you got a drug problem, okay, and you need money to buy drugs, when you have money, you're going to have a bigger drug problem. Okay? Money is just a multiplier. Okay? If you're unhappy and depressed, I need some money, you think money's going to solve your problems? When you have money, you're going to be more unhappy and more depressed. Okay? Whatever your vice is, money will multiply that. Okay? So you got to fix your shit first, and then you can build wealth, and then you can actually get the value out of it. Number 12. I do not wonder, for the fault is not in the wealth, but in the mind itself. That which had made poverty a burden to us has made riches also a burden, right? Just as it matters little whether you lay a sick man on a wooden or a golden bed, for whichsoever he be moved, he will carry his malady with him. So one need not care whether the diseased mind is bestowed upon riches or upon poverty, his malady goes with the man. Farewell. So a great analogy here. He's saying, look, it doesn't matter if you got a diseased man, if you're fucking sick, and I put you on a wooden bed or put you on a golden bed, you're in the same fucking problem. You got the same fucking problem. And so you're fucked up. I'm fucked up. Our minds we're sick, right? We need to cure that. We need to solve that problem. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. The riches don't matter. It doesn't matter if you're on the wooden bed or the golden bed, right? And you're on the wooden bed and you're thinking, oh, if I just had the golden bed, I'd be okay. No, it's not going to solve your problem. It's not going to solve your problem. Okay? You've got to solve your problem. You've got to go dig deep internally. You got to study. You got to build your character. You got to build your discipline, right? You've got to build your confidence. You've got to work on yourself if you want to be well, and then you can enjoy either. Then you can enjoy the good and the bad, the riches and the poverty, and it won't matter as much anymore. As long as you're having your basic needs met, which is really simple. All right, that's all I got for you today. If you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss any more videos that are coming out in the series, and make sure you click the bell so you don't miss the notifications when they come out. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.